know the mic going out. Okay.
Oh, that was okay.
Hello? And you gotta just say levels on the camera, right? I'm good now?
Yes? Ready? Good morning, everyone. We're just about ready to begin. If everyone would stand for the national anthem. Please remain standing for the opening prayer, which will be done by Mrs. Samantha Rupnarayan of the San Fernando City Corporation.
Good morning to everyone. It's a privilege to stand before you here today to honor God as we open in prayer. Let us bow. Dear God, we would like to lift this morning's proceeding before you and ask for your guidance as we have come together to better our community. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to gather here today and protecting us on our journey. On this day put forth, we ask for your will to be done in our lives as we dedicate this time to you. As we aim to transform and improve the communities in and around the city of San Fernando, we pray that the curbside recycling initiative bring forth positive growth and success. For every individual that has a role to play, bless their efforts and their hard work, and give them the knowledge and understanding to put forth their best and honest effort. Help us to make new connections and gain wisdom to do the work you have set before us. Thank you for blessing our time together. We give you glory. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the San Fernando City Corporation City Hall Auditorium. Please be advised that in the event of an emergency, an alarm will be raised. All persons are then required to exit orderly out of the auditorium through the nearest marked exit or emergency door and assemble at the muster point at the Bandstand Harris Promenade. There, a head count will be taken to ensure that everyone was accounted for and safe. Further instructions will then be issued by a member of the Protective Services or a health and safety representative. Thank you for your kind cooperation.
Please be seated. Thank you to the Municipal Police for the safety brief. My name is Marian Gelazzo, and I will be the Master of Ceremonies this morning. On behalf of the San Fernando City Corporation, I'd like to wish a very special good morning to His Worship the Mayor, Alderman Junior Regrello, Madam Deputy Mayor, and members of Council, the San Fernando South District Rotary Club, representatives of SWMCOL, Rotoplastics Trinidad Limited, and members of administration and the media. Senator the Honorable Haji Kazim Hussain, Minister of Rural Development and Local Government, is unable to be with us this morning as he has a prior meeting to attend, but wishes to extend congratulations to the San Fernando City Corporation on this recycling initiative and sends best wishes to all of our stakeholders. To begin, we'd like to start with the stakeholders review. I'd like to invite Mr. Najan Anamantudo, Project Chairman of the San Fernando South District Rotary Club, to the podium.
Thank you very much, Madam Chairman. His Worship the Mayor, Alderman Junior Regrello, Deputy Mayor Dr. Hussain, Councillors, Aldermen, City Council staff, Board of Director International Mr. Peter Kyle, District Governor Ms. Sonia Allen, Assistant Governor Brian Ramatali, Past Assistant Governor Debbie Rupchand, Mr. Incoming President of the Rotary Club of San Fernando South, fellow Rotary members, Chairman of SWMCOL, Mr. Ronald Milford, General Manager, Mr. Kevin Thompson, and CEO, Mr. Kevin Thompson, and General Manager, Mr. David Manswell, and the entire SWMCOL team, guests, ladies and gentlemen, members of the media, and Ms. Ross from Rotoplastics. It's been 2 years planning for this launch, and the dates put off due to the COVID-19 pandemic. However, today is a very significant one because the Rotary Club of San Fernando South, the Solid Waste Management Company of Trinidad and Tobago, and the San Fernando City Corporation have seen the need to come together for this recycling project, appropriately called No Pollution Revolution. We collectively came together to make San Fernando and its environs a cleaner environment and also contribute meaningfully with this project to sensitize the burgesses of the value of recycling to make this a better world for waste reduction and waste management. In 2013, our club launched and had a very successful recycling project for 6 schools in San Fernando. And this project ran for 3 months. It took the form of a competition for the most recyclables, and Azure Girls College emerged winners. The prizes included computers, cash, and recyclable bins. At present, there are over 49 billion plastic bottles either in landfills, the ocean, blocking water courses, or scattered just about anywhere, including the Amazon forest. In Trinidad, it's about 800,000 plastic bottles every day disposed of. And it adds up to over 500 million plastic bottles and 12 million glass bottles each year. So that accounts for approximately 3 million tons of plastic that go into making those common water bottles, which 80% of end up in landfills. It might seem futile to refuse a plastic bag at a supermarket, but multiplied over millions of people, it can change an entire industry overnight. In this regard, we have to compliment Massy Stores and PriceSmart for making changes and encouraging the non-use of disposable plastic bags. Presently in Antigua, there is a Rotary Club running a recycling plant that has 27 employees. It's known as ABREC, the Antigua and Barbuda Waste Recycling Corporation. ABREC was initiated as not-for-profit corporation to promote and develop waste recycling. ABREC received funding from the Global Environment Facility through the UNDP program to create a 25-minute educational to be used to promote recycling both within Antigua and Barbuda and the region. Since its opening, the facility has processed and exported over 10 million plastic bottles, 30,000 plastic crates, 24,000 lead acid batteries, and 23,000 pounds of scrap aluminum, copper, and steel. Importantly, the facility has conducted tours for over 3,000 children, educating them on waste management, best practices, and the need for everyone to play a role in keeping their nation clean and environmentally sustainable. School-based recycling programs are now active in 55 schools in Antigua and Barbuda. Interestingly, the facility employs recovering drug and alcohol addicts in collaboration with the Crossroads Rehab Center. The recycling processing facility in Powell's Industrial Estate was opened in December 2005. The project involves the collection, processing, and export of plastic bottles, aluminum cans, lead acid batteries, and used inkjet cartridges and toners for recycling. We in Trinidad and Tobago anxiously await the much delayed beverage container bill passage in Parliament. But, however, as responsible citizens and corporate entities, we must play our part in educating the citizens and encouraging recycling projects like this one, the No Pollution Revolution. Mr. Mayor and SWMCOL, executives present here today, perhaps we can convene a meeting with the Trinidad and Tobago Manufacturers Association to lobby their members in the manufacturing sector who are the bottled water producers, soft drink producers, the Tetra Pak and fruit drink producers, to get on board with recycling projects and or introduce their own initiatives to take care of the millions of bottles produced annually instead of waiting for the government to act. We are all sitting on the fence while the landfills burn. The manufacturers are the producers of a multi-billion-dollar industry and should be in sync like us. that they really care about this country and want to make a difference to alleviate global warming. The manufacturers have a responsibility to help solve the global plastic waste crisis, reach markets to achieve sustainability goals, suppress waste pollution, and reduce carbon footprints to sustain their environment for future generations. Recycling makes economic sense as it is a sustainable spin-off industry and will contribute meaningfully to GDP and job creation, which will generate revenue and other benefits to accrue. Simply put, this is how they can drive change. Perhaps, Mr. Mayor and SWMCOL, this could be the clarion call for the TTMA to conference with your membership for a better Trinidad and Tobago. It should be done. It can be achieved as we have the expertise, competency, and personnel in this country to turn this chapter into reality. I'm proposing to these stakeholders of the TTMA, let's do it, and not continue to cover our island with trash. On behalf of the Rotary Club of San Fernando South, I want to sincerely thank the Mayor and his team, SWMCOL and its management team for partnering with the Rotary Club of San Fernando South in the no pollution revolution. We all have a vision. Let us now partner with the TTMA and achieve a new mission. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Anamantudo, for the very educational and informative address. I'd now like to invite Mr. Dev Gosain of the San Fernando South District Rotary Club to introduce our next speaker.
Your Worship, the Mayor of this beautiful city of San Fernando, members of council, we have our district governor, Sonia Allen, Rotary International Director, Peter Kyle, our assistant governor, Richard, what am I saying? Brian Ramatali, our past assistant governor, Debbie Rupchan, members of Rotary, general public, and of course our friends in the media, definitely not to be forgotten. I have a pleasant task this morning of introducing our district governor, Sonia Allen. Sonia is an accountant by profession with nearly 30 years of experience. She is the Chief Financial Officer and Head of Operations at the Barbados Family Planning Association. Her exposure over her working life has enabled her to be well-versed in understanding the economic climate, industry concerns, and the ability to quickly analyze the financial situation of a sector, industry, or business. Sonia is the treasurer of the breast screening program of the Barbados Cancer Society, BCSBSP. She has held this post for 17 years. The BCSBSP is a thriving subcommittee of the Barbados Cancer Society and is the leading institution on the island for the early detection of breast cancer in women and men. She is also an active member of the Guyana Association of Barbados. In her spare time, she is the chairman of the board of management of the St. Michael's School. Sonia is the wife of David, an insurance executive, and mother to Tristan. Sonia has been a mentor on the Commonwealth Women Mentorship Scheme, where she liaises and guides young women across the Commonwealth, helping them into senior positions and working with them to increase their self-confidence in the workplace, and assisting where necessary in the creation of a self-starting entrepreneurship environment. With a passion for service, Sonia joined the Rotary Club of Barbados South in June of 2004 and became a member of the board of directors in 2005 and has served in almost every capacity on the board since. She has been a Rotarian. She has been a Rotarian of the Year and a Paul Harris Fellow. She has also received the Vocational Service Award by her club. Sonia is a discussion leader of the Rotary Leadership Institute, Sunshine Division, and a past District 7030 Rotary Leadership Institute Director. She has also served as an Assistant Governor and Conference Chair for District 7030. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to welcome District Governor Sonia Lean to the podium.
Thanks, Dave. Good. Distinguished head table and distinguished guests, stakeholders, ladies and gentlemen. My remarks this morning are just going to be that, remarks. At Rotary, we have been involved in environmental projects for years, but finally, in this Rotary year, the environment became the 7th area of focus. And the Rotary Club of San Fernando South will continue to embrace this area through public-private partnerships such as this. And our involvement in this worthy project is one of the ways that we can impact our future. As we know, the environment, climate change is affecting everything. We've seen it, the way our weather patterns change, our food crops, it's the buzzword. As we serve to change lives during this Rotary year, we stand committed as people of action to ensure that the preservation of the environment. To the stakeholders, we can make a difference. One plastic bottle, one recycling item at a time. Thank you for engaging and involving Rotary in activities such as this. This is who we are. We serve to change lives and make a difference. Thanks so much.
Look like I get two up today. It's my pleasure now to introduce Peter Kyle. Peter is a Rotary International Director. Rotary International has 34 directors which manage the clubs worldwide. Peter is one of them in charge of 2 zones. Peter first came to the US from New Zealand in 1973 to pursue postgraduate studies in law at the University of Virginia as a Rotary ambassadorial scholar. After a career in private legal practice in New Zealand, he returned to the US in 1992 to take up a position with the World Bank as a senior international attorney. He retired from this position in 2009. He was inducted into Rotary in 1976 and has since served the organization in many capacities. He has been particularly involved in alumni Rotary Peace Fellow activities and has chaired both the Alumni Relations and the Rotary Peace Center committees. He has also served as an International Assembly trainer, Council on Legislation delegate, RI President Representative, and Dean of the Rotary Representative Network. He is currently the RI Director for 2020-2022 in zones 33 and 34. Peter has received the Global Alumni Service to Humanity Award, together with the Service Above Self Award and the Citation for Meritorious Service. He and his wife, Margaret, live on the West River of Maryland in a home designed by Margaret and close to their 2 children and 1 grandson. It's my pleasure to invite Peter to the podium.
Your Worship the Mayor, Madam Deputy Mayor, members of the San Fernando City Corporation, special guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed a great pleasure for me to be with you today. On behalf of the President of Rotary International, Mr. Shekhar Mehta, I would like to bring you warm greetings from the President and the Board of Directors of Rotary International. As my colleague, District Governor Sonia has outlined, the environment is an extremely important area of focus for Rotary International. Rotary is the world's largest community-based service organization. We started in 1905, so we've been going for a long time. We have approximately 1.2 million members spread across 200 countries and jurisdictions all around the world. Here in Trinidad and Tobago, we have 22 clubs and approximately 1,000 Rotarians, all doing a variety of projects designed to improve the humanitarian causes which we all regard as so important. The environment, as Sonia has mentioned, has become an extremely important area of focus, and I was delighted to see the mantra, "Be the solution, join the no pollution revolution." What a lovely catchphrase. I'm going to take that back to my colleagues, and if I may, if there's no trademark issues, I'm going to publicize that because I think that's a very catchy phrase. And I'm particularly pleased to have an opportunity to congratulate the Rotary Club of San Fernando South on this initiative. We need these initiatives. And we need the initiatives that not only relate to environment and education, water and sanitation, health, the other areas of focus, but initiatives that work closely with city government, national governments, federal governments. Increasingly, Rotary is perceived as a partner with governments. We can do things which you can't do, you can do things which we can't do, but together we can do a lot working together. So I congratulate the club for its initiative. I think this is a fantastic environmental initiative. There are many similar projects around the world dealing with disposables, plastics. So you are joining part of a worldwide movement, and you should be very proud of that. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for the support that the City Corporation is giving to this project, and thank you all for your attendance today. It's an honor to be with you, and I'm just delighted to have an opportunity to say a few remarks. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Kyle. I'd now like to invite Ms. Isabel Ross, Marketing Assistant at Rotoplastics Trinidad Limited, to bring us a few words.
Thank you for the introduction. Good day, Deputy Mayor and distinguished guests. On behalf of Rotoplastics Trinidad Limited, I would like to thank the San Fernando City Corporation for including us on this progressive initiative. At Rotoplastics, we are always looking for new ways to care for our environment. Over the last year, we have not only added an electric vehicle to our fleet, embarked on a tough tank recycling program, but we have also joined forces with SWMCOL to recycle single-use plastic, cans, and glass. So when Mr. Amarak invited us to be a part of San Fernando's curbside recycling program, we hopped on board without any hesitation. With our contribution of Rhino wheelie bins, we know that recycling will be easy and accessible for all. But more importantly, we are providing a durable product to sustain this initiative for years to come. To our Honorable Mayor, the Rotary Club, SWMCOL, and the San Fernando City Corporation, we commend you all on embarking on this journey to instill the importance of recycling for future generations. San Fernando, we are so excited to grow with you and the no pollution revolution. Thank you for having us.
Thank you, Ms. Ross. I'd now like to ask the Deputy Mayor and Chairman of the Public Health Committee of the San Fernando City Corporation, Alderman Dr. Ferry Hussain, who will be giving us an address on behalf of the San Fernando City Corporation.
To our distinguished members and specially invited guests, His Worship the Mayor, Alderman Junior Agrello, other members of Council, Ms. Heather Crawford, Chief Executive Officer of the San Fernando City Corporation, other members of administration, Mr. Kevin Thompson, Chief Executive Officer of SWMCOL, and other members of his team, Mr. Peter Kyle, Rotary International Director, Mr. Najan Anamuntundo, Rotary Club of San Fernando South Recycling Project Chairman, Ms. Sonia Allen, District Governor of the Rotary District 7030, other members of the Rotary Club team, Isabel Ross, Marketing Assistant of Rotoplastics Limited, other specially invited guests, our listening and viewing audience, members of the media, good morning and a very warm welcome. I would like to begin by expressing my sincerest gratitude to all stakeholders present here today. Without you, this gathering and its purpose would not be possible, as any and all assistance certainly goes a long way. We share the common goal, which is to improve the quality of lives of individuals, families, and communities. The San Fernando City Corporation is proud to say that its recycling initiative and partnership with the Trinidad and Tobago Solid Waste Management Company, SWMCOL, is about to progress one step further. We will also be the first corporation to join onto the SWMCOL's initiative of Be the Solution, Join the No Pollution Revolution. The recycling initiative at the San Fernando City Corporation was first piloted at the Embarcadero community and Coconut Drive communities, using the curbside pickup model, which at present is still taking place. Our aim, however, is to expand our program while continuing to maintain sustainability. The current expansion of our program is grounded on three central aspects: additions to our team, comprising our involved and support stakeholders, that is the Rotary Club of San Fernando and Rotoplastics Trinidad Limited, in addition to our previous stakeholder, SWMCOL. 2, utilizing partnerships at a community level within our city, such as the Housing Development Corporation and the Tatico Credit Union, which will be designated collection points for recyclables. These form our team of core stakeholders. Marketing and public health education led by SWMCOL in tandem with our public health department at the San Fernando City Corporation. The success of recycling drives is dependent on the underpinning of public education. Residents will now have the option of dropping off the recyclables, which are the food and beverage containers, aluminum cans, glass, plastic, and Tetra Paks, to any of our point locations. Our Environment Control Division under our Public Health Department will be responsible for the collection. This will then be taken to a reserved area at Forest Park, where the recyclables will then be taken to the Nandefco recycling plant located at Celox. We have opted to use this designated points at this point in time, as this will allow us to use our in-house resources more efficiently and effectively. These point locations will also be closely monitored and in direct communication with us at the San Fernando City Corporation. These locations will give residents more options, but also will protect against issues usually seen at areas where collection is done on a larger scale with little monitoring. These issues are those of unsuitable recycling techniques, dumping and mixing of domestic garbage, and even the hazard of broken glass around the area. We are of the view that at a local government level, we are a critical driving force in the management of waste that would otherwise find itself into our landfills or as litter in the environment. The city of San Fernando is a coastal city and is known for its amazing wealth of beauty seen at the coastline areas, such as Kings Wharf, San Fernando. One of the main benefits for our city will be to reduce the visual pollution caused by littering and dumping within and around the city. Our expectation, though, is not limited to aesthetics, but rather the true worth of this program relates to the health of our citizens. It has been shown that people feel less safe in areas where littering and dumping is rampant, and that these habits can also contribute significantly to public health related concerns such as possible breeding grounds for mosquitoes and even fires, amongst countless other concerns. Therefore, our key priorities is to change the norms, attitudes, beliefs, and perspectives which are the cultural and cognitive drivers within our city. The San Fernando City Corporation is service-oriented, and as such, we continue with this commitment. It is our duty and responsibility to ensure that our actions at local government are consistent with the strategies of central government, which are known to be guided by the Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs. The Sustainable Development Goals are 17 interlinked global goals designed for the achievement of a better and more sustainable future for all. For example, under the Ministry of Planning, the Trinidad and Tobago National Development Strategy Vision 2030 Team 5 is placing the environment at the center of social and economic development. It is focused on Sustainable Development Goals 12, 13, and 14, which are responsible consumption and production, climate action, life below water, and life on land, respectively, amongst others. Similarly, this venture embarked upon by the San Fernando City Corporation in collaboration with our mentioned stakeholders is steered mainly by SDG 3 and highlights the value we place on the health of our citizens. SDG 3 relates to promoting healthy lives and well-being for all ages. As we strive forward, our intention is to continue to enhance our program, first and foremost by encouraging other stakeholders to come on board and be part of the solution to no pollution. I would like to end by making reference to the motto of the San Fernando City Corporation, Sanitas Fortis, which means in a healthy environment, we will find strength. Let us together make a resolution to join the no pollution revolution. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Deputy. I'd now like to invite Mr. Kevin Thompson, Chief Executive Officer of the Solid Waste Management Company Limited, to bring us remarks on behalf of SWMCOL.
Good morning. Good morning. Kyle, District Governor Sonia Allen, councillors of the San Fernando City Corporation, representatives of the San Fernando South Rotary Club, members of Rotary, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. It fills me with great pride to be part of such a momentous occasion, not only as a representative of the Trinidad and Tobago Solid Waste Management Company, SWMCOL, but as a man that spent his formative years in the city, shopping on High Street, going to common entrance classes on the promenade, attending a school on San Fernando Hill, and enjoying cultural and sporting events at the Naparima Bowl and at Skinner's Park. So I'm home, and I feel quite proud and excited that in this space there's a drive and a concern along with the Rotary to do something better for the environment, to be part of the solution. And so often in our country, we talk about where the problems are at, and here we have partners working together to become part of the solution, and that's where we need to focus our energies. I'm excited by SWMCOL's ongoing partnership with the City of San Fernando. As the Deputy Mayor would have mentioned, this is not the first initiative that we are partnering with the city on. We are very pleased that we continue to find a willing partner in the City of San Fernando, and we are also very excited about the leadership that the City of San Fernando brings in this space and in others in the national community. SWMCOL's strategic plan 2021 to 2025, titled Pathway to Sustainability, focuses on ways in which incremental changes made by individuals, organizations, and groups can together make a substantial difference in the way we care for the environment. The challenge is urgent, so we must all act now in ways that support sustainable outcomes for our environment. At SWMCOL, we are engaging the national community in a discussion about, not about waste. We are engaging the national community in a discussion about misplaced resources. And if you would allow me a couple seconds to just reflect. In the 1970s, offshore the East Coast in Trinidad, oil was found by the then Amoco Corporation. A byproduct of that oil find was gas. And what was done was the gas was not needed, the gas was not used, and there was no industry for it. And that resource was flared. And the flares were so bright that you could read a book on Manzanilla Beach based on the gas that was being burned offshore. And a little known company then, called the National Gas Company, was formed to deal with that misplaced resource. The rest, as they say, is history. There is now something called a Trinidad model. There is now Trinidad expertise that is used all over the world in gas industries, all over the world, on the basis of being able to take misplaced resources and redirecting them. And so here's the challenge, and here's where we are happy about this partnership with Rotary, with Rotoplastics, with the City of San Fernando, because it allows this misplaced resource, as the Deputy Mayor spoke of, and as Mr. Anamatudo spoke of, the waste or the resource is going to the landfill, I would say in a best condition and in a best situation, because unfortunately, most of it does not end up in the landfill. You see it on the side of the road, and you see it in the drains, and you see it in the rivers, and you see it in the roads every time it floods. So this partnership, where we are engaging the City of San Fernando, and very, very appreciative of the leadership of the City of San Fernando in this regard, to encourage the citizens in San Fernando to appropriately put the resource. And then we at SWMCOL have taken that responsibility to further ensure that it finds a sustainable home. The numbers quoted by Mr. Anamatudo I will not go into again, but suffice it to say, we are talking about millions of bottles being consumed every year. And if we can find a better use for them, it will redound to the benefit of us all. Rotary International shares similar interests to SWMCOL in protecting the environment by supporting activities that strengthen the conservation and protection of natural resources, advance ecological sustainability, and foster harmony between communities and the environment. I won't go into any more of the Rotary's long resume, but that has already been excellently done by both Sonia and Peter. What I would say, though, just touching on the Sustainable Development Goals mentioned by the Deputy Mayor, we are here together as an expression of Sustainable Development Goal 17, which is partnerships for the goal. Partnerships because alone, SWMCOL alone, Rotary alone, the Rotary Club of San Fernando South alone, the San Fernando City alone will not get us to where we need to be. We need to be partners together in order to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals. I will go further than the Deputy Mayor, and I will say that a full 8 of the Sustainable Development Goals have been touched by this activity and this partnership that we are embarking on today. Today's call to action focuses on life, for there is no greater cause. We are not about taking the plastic bottles away from the landfill or from the rivers because it is something that ultimately helps the landfill. As the Deputy Mayor mentioned, it affects life on land and it affects life on water, life in water. Again, Sustainable Development Goals, because when these plastics, when these resources end up in the wrong place, they affect life. They affect our ability to fish. They affect our ability to feed ourselves. And so we are, in fact, dealing with life. So I want to say congratulations to His Worship the Mayor of San Fernando and the City of San Fernando for embarking on this journey. As it were, joining the revolution with a no pollution resolution. Thanks to our partners in Rotary International and at Rotoplastics, to the members of the Rotary, my fellow citizens, I thank you for joining with us as we take action to actively care for the environment through recycling. Henry Ford said, coming together is a beginning. Staying together is progress. And working together is success. We look forward to working together and the partnerships coming out of this initiative as we invite you to walk with us as we continue to stride along that pathway to sustainability, becoming part of the solution. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Thompson. And on behalf of the San Fernando City Corporation, I'm sure we would like to all wish you a very warm welcome home. We will now have remarks from His Worship, the Mayor of San Fernando, Alderman Junior Regrello.
May I also extend a warm welcome back home to Mr. Kevin Thompson, CEO of SWMCOL. Permit me to recognize Deputy Mayor Dr. Ferry Hussein, who outlined in a very comprehensive way the project as we move forward. I'd also like to recognize Mr. Peter Kyle, who I met unofficially at the Panyard last night, taking pictures like a prominent tourist, and who asked me what I was doing in the Panyard. I had to inform him that's my second home. So he looked very relaxed last night and inquiring about what San Fernando had to offer, and that he was going down to the cross to get some doubles, and he was going to the Pitch Lake, and he was going to other places, and he was staying in Vistabella. And I'm very happy that the Rotary Club chose to have him stay in San Fernando as opposed to elsewhere. Miss Isabel Thompson of Rosa Plastics, happy to recognize you as well. Mrs. Sonia Allen, our friend from Barbados, who was also in the Panya last night, relaxing and enjoying herself. I had a chance to chat a bit and commend her and her Prime Minister, who is very eloquent in making a name for herself on the international circuit. Members of Rotary Club, other members of SWMCOL, all the mayors and councillors of the San Fernando City Corporation, our CEO, Ms. Heather Crawford, I'm not seeing her in the back there. And when I introduced Ms. Crawford to the CEO of SWMCOL, he said that other corporations have been approaching SWMCOL to partner on this project, but San Fernando is the first. I said, well, Ms. Crawford is the niece of Hazley Crawford, so we have speed in San Fernando in moving forward. Let me just say that this initiative is so critical as it speaks to awareness, it speaks to education, and I'm happy that San Fernandans, as our CEO outlined there, we have that drive in getting things done. San Fernando is where the energy really is. You know, we have described as the energy city. We were once the industrial capital. We know the industrial capital. We know the energy capital. Some may even say the education capital if you're going to use exam results as a basis. Some may even say the cultural capital. But nevertheless, it's the capital. And we are moving forward with this initiative. We started back in 2018 when we spoke about solution, be the solution, end the pollution, bunch it, batch it, bring it, and we will take it. That's another phrase you can use, Mr. Kyle. We wouldn't charge you. There's no intellectual property involved there, but it's slightly different, but saying the same thing. I want to say that we have partnered with the Solid Waste Management Company Limited, the Rotary Club this time around, and Rotary Plastics Trinidad Limited to improve traditional waste collection and disposal by introducing proper waste separation and recycling systems to commercial and residential communities within these targeted communities. By doing so, we hope to educate all members of the community on the benefits derived from waste separation, reduction, and recycling. Proper waste disposal is very important to environmental protection. Far too often we see the upsurge of plastic bottles and other waste that clog our waterways, causing flooding and breeding of mosquitoes that result in vector-borne diseases. The areas which will benefit from the first phase of this initiative are We Supermarket in Coquille Village, the HDC apartment building on Kane Street, Vistabella, Tatico Credit Union on Freedom Street, San Fernando, the Councillor's Office for the Electoral District of Lesotho West, Laramine. With SWMCOL's public education team that is dedicated to ensuring that participating communities and businesses are apprised of why, how, when, and where all the recycling campaign and assistance that can be provided by the San Fernando City Corporation's Public Health Department in disseminating information to the public will be welcome. Flyers and posters will be utilized in tandem with bulletins issued directly by participants via email and the San Fernando City Corporation Facebook page. Further, we believe that recyclers in the targeted areas will be happy to have their efforts publicly acknowledged and commended. Over the course of this program, we propose to highlight the communities, business places, and individuals who have contributed to the initiative. It is our hope that by doing so, the participating public will realize that we are trying to achieve and become the solution to join no pollution revolution. So, on behalf of the members of Council and the San Fernando City Corporation, I'd like to thank all stakeholders who are present today to witness the beginning of a new normal to waste disposal and our city motto, Sanitas Fortis, the healthy environment will find strength, and that we will. I thank you for this initiative. I thank you for support Rotary Club in going forward. I thank Rotary Plastics and more importantly, SWMCOL in ensuring that San Fernando remains safe and have a clean and environment. Thank you so much.
And now we have a small presentation of 2 gifts on behalf of SWMCOL and the City of San Fernando to Mr. Peter Kyle and Ms. Sonia Allen. For those that are curious, the gift will be a... For those of us that are curious, the gift will be a reusable bag to go in with our theme of no pollution resolution. So we'll be presenting Ms. Sonia Allen first. And now we will be presenting Mr. Peter Kyle.
Matching bag.
Once again, these gifts are on behalf of SWMCOL and the San Fernando City Corporation. Now we'd like to present for the vote of thanks Mr. Gerard Ramarak. He is the project manager currently at the San Fernando City Corporation, the mover and shaker around here. Very excited about this project indeed.
Very good day to each and every one of you here today. I am extremely happy to be here amongst you all today. And it is my esteemed honor to have taken the opportunity to move the vote of thanks. His Worship, the Mayor, Alderman Junior Regrello, my good friend and CEO of the Solid Waste Management Company Limited, the representative from Rotoplastics Limited, Ms. Isabel Ross, the International Director, Rotary International, Mr. Kyle, other Rotary members, the Chief Executive Officer of the San Fernando City Corporation, Ms. Heather Crawford, our Deputy Mayor, Dr. Ferry Hussein, other members of staff, other invited guests. As I mentioned before, my role today is a very simple one, in that of moving the vote of thanks. It would be remiss of me not to grasp the opportunity on such a significant occasion like today without saying a few words with reference to the theme, No Pollution Revolution. When one examines the impact of poor waste management practices throughout the region and at the international level as well, it would be realized as to how devastating these are to the environment, marine ecosystems, and the livelihood of coastal communities. Data from the Ocean Conservancy 2017 would have shown Trinidad and Tobago as being just below average with respect to marine plastic pollution as compared to other Caribbean islands. For example, plastic items such as bottles, bags, and lids total 552 per kilometer of coastline as compared to the highest recorded value of 2,191 items within the region. Thousands of plastic shards can often be found in the wider Caribbean waters, representing nearly 80% of the total litter. The amount of plastic found on Caribbean beaches far exceeds the global average, with 2014 litter items per kilometer compared to 573 worldwide. Can we imagine, friends, where are we now and where would we be in a few years' time if emphasis is not placed as foremost in our minds to change our behavior and culture with respect to our waste management practices? I know that the launch today is a step in the right direction with respect to the preservation of the environment by affording our citizens the opportunity to contribute significantly to the solution to the no pollution revolution. At this point in time, may I ask the representative of SWMCOL, the Rotary Club, and Rotary Plastics to please stand. Thank you. On behalf of His Worship the Mayor, Alderman Junior Regrello, the Deputy Mayor, Dr. Ferry Hussein, other members of Council, the Chief Executive Officer, Ms. Heather Crawford, and staff, I'm extending sincere appreciation and profound thanks for your partnership with the San Fernando City Corporation in such an important initiative in the realm of recycling. The San Fernando City Corporation will make every effort through collaboration with you all and other key stakeholders to ensure sustainability of the recycling initiative, which will enhance environmental integrity. Heartfelt thanks once more for your sterling contribution and relenting participation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That will be the end of our program for this morning. We'd like you all to stay for photos and refreshments after if you'd like. That's it. Have a good day. Be safe.
is carried.